Murder style, y'all.
Insanity, insanity, whatever happened to humanity? Ooh.
A Plague Tale Requiem is a survival horror game that has been developed by Asobo Studio and has been published by Focus Entertainment. Amicia must look for a cure for her brother Hugo's blood disease in southern France while fleeing from soldiers in the Inquisition and hordes of rats that are spreading the Black Plague. I have been waiting for a very long time for this game to come out. Ever since I have played A Plague Tale Innocence, I love this game so much to the point where I wanted more of it, especially the way how it ended. I want to know more about Amicia and Hugo's journey. So when I found out that they was making this one, I was excited. I was very, very happy, but at the same time I was a little bit concerned because let's just face it here, sequels suck. Sequels always crash lands. As the first versions, they always do good when it comes to us looking at the creativity of how they've done the characters, the story, and just the build-up of us wanting more and more and more. The sequels always fail to give us that same type of love. But A Plague Tale Requiem, let's just say that I played it, I beat it, I enjoyed it, and they have proved me wrong. Ever since I played Summoner 2, and I have literally explained in my review on Summoner 2 how those games can bring back the love of us liking sequels again. A Plague Tale Requiem does this as well with flying colors, and this game would not disappoint, I guarantee you. The game picks up pretty quickly, so fast in a way where if people who have not played the original, you may find this as a problem for you just being like aware of just so much of things happening. The plague happens so fast, the soldiers and the bandits come and try to kill you so quickly, but that's because they want to let you know that just because you beat the first one, that doesn't mean that their journey is over. They're still trying to figure out answers, and Hugo is still getting haunted by this disease. So there is no downplay with this game. You need to play the first one. And not only that, but what I like about this game is the pacing with the character development itself. I like the horror elements of the first one, even though they have taken that away a little bit on this one, because I wasn't really afraid playing this game when it showed the rats, showing the bandits, showing the soldiers, and just how easily they can overcome Amicia and Hugo. But the reason why it's a little watered down on this one is because Amicia and Hugo have both overcame their fears. Amicia on A Plague Tale Innocence, she was more younger, she was unaware of death, she watched her father get killed, so at that point she was trying to avoid violence, trying to avoid terror, and at the same time trying to make sure that her and her brother makes it out safely. So when she was overcome by these rats and these bandits and these soldiers, they had the odds stacked against her. Because even though you had the resources and you had the materials to fight back, it was cut to a minimum, but at the same time the enemies can still kill you in one good satisfying blow. But on A Plague Tale Requiem, on this one, Amicia and Hugo, they welcome the combat, but that just shows you that they have overcame the fear. They welcome it, and it just shows you how much have they matured, how well they have endured the combat, and just how badass they are. I love Amicia so much, and I love the bond with her and Hugo, because on the previous one, she didn't want to have anything to do with him. He was whining too much. He just wanted just things to, to just try to understand how things was. He's a kid. So it took a while for Amicia and Hugo to end up building that bond. Kind of the same thing with The Last of Us with Joel and Ellie on the first one. So they earned it by us liking them both on the first one. So on this one, their chemistry grew a lot, and I ended up caring about them so much to the point where it was an inseparable bond to me. Same thing with Lucas and Patrice. Now they're also on the first one too. Lucas is Amicia and Hugo's best friend. We see Lucas a lot on the first one, but not enough to the point where we know enough about his character. But on this one, he plays a big part in the game to the point where he ended up being a character that is kind of unforgivable. Unforgettable. I like his character a lot. He is one of the innocent characters that actually wants to avoid killing as well, because he has never killed anyone. There's been times that he's been lying into a life and death situation, but he's been saved by Amicia and Hugo. So he has never tried to kill somebody with his own hands. So he tries to see things in a way that he can avoid violence by sneaking past enemies and stuff. Characters like this need to be in games because when I'm playing games and I'm just in a murderous rampage, I need to have characters that would take me out of insanity and put me into that brink of just trying to find inner peace. And Lucas is that character, and he tries to help Hugo and Amicia try to look at things in a peaceful perspective. But it's gonna be impossible though, because at the plague and the bandits and the soldiers, how can you do that? But either way, I liked his character, and it was a well-warranted character, especially of how they portrayed him on the first one. Same thing with Beatrice. I liked her character too. On the first one, she was kind of dull, kind of an asshole to Amicia, just didn't want to tell her too much information. But what I like about her was, on this one, is that not only is she finally telling Amicia what's really going on, she's actually paying for the shit that she has put Amicia through by putting her into the dark. Now Amicia is forcing answers. Now she is literally knocking on the door and banging the emotional door so she can answer these questions. What is going on with my brother? Why is he going through this? Why is it not working? We look for everything. And I like the bond with the family and with Lucas. I thought their intentions, their visuals of how they see things, especially with Hugo. Hugo gets frustrated a lot because by him being a part of Plague and by him having this virus in his blood, he is the main frustrated character on this whole game because all this stuff is circling around him by him being the key. And Amicia and her having to take responsibility of his actions by her being the older sister. And then the mother playing a part of this by trying to protect them, by keeping things secret, but at the same time, they have to know so they can be more contained of safety. And Lucas trying to water down the fear and trying to let them know that things can be handled in a peaceful manner. The pacing of these characters is good, well done, well executed, and practically perfect in a way. Even though the fear of the game is not there anymore, I'm gonna have to say that they have taken the fear and added more into a survival way of the game, so you can be pulled in more by Amicia having different ways to maneuver in combat, and different enemies having ways of how can they flank you, how can they try to attack you, and overall how can they kill you in one good satisfying blow. And just like the first one, I was still getting pulled in by the action, I was still getting pulled in by the gameplay, and just going around the obstacles of just trying not to make myself get eaten alive by the rats. The fear was not there, but the thrill of survival was still there, and if not, it was even more stronger than the first one in my opinion. Flaws on this game, there is no flaws. They know how well the game was on the previous installment, so at that time, I guess they wanted to use the same mechanics, same type of play style that's on the first one, but put it on here, but add more tweaks and add more elemental strategies to the game, so you can see some new mechanics on here. Defeating the enemies on here is pretty strategic, more strategic than the first one. So on this one, you have to either sneak past them, stun them, or you're gonna have to try to use Hugo's rats to get around them, or use side characters' elemental abilities to help you along the journey. But it does not help all the time because your side characters also have a weakness as well. But that's what I liked about it, about this game. They didn't take a back seat. They didn't take nothing away. They just added more things that was on the original, but put it on this one. And I have no problem with it. At the end of the day, A Plague's Tale Requiem is a very good, satisfying game. The length of the game is just as satisfying too. I was surprised how long this game was. So by me saying that, this game, I'm surprised that people are literally giving this game high praise, because the first one came out a while back and people didn't really give it as much love as it deserved. But on this one, I want you guys to literally, if you're watching this review or if you already seen reviews that people was really talking about this game and give you guys high praise about it, they're not wrong. They're not lying. It's no endorsements. It's no, I get it so I can get the views up. No, this is a very good game. A very, very good, satisfying game, especially if you like stories, and especially if you're hoping that sequels can hold up to the original, because this one does. I'm gonna have to give A Plague Tale Requiem an A+. This game fucking rocked. This game satisfied me so much to the point where I want to know more about what's going to happen with Hugo and Amicia. And if they're run on making some more Plague Tale stories based on this franchise, I'm on board because they showed more than just them two on this franchise. They showed other stories of other characters as well. So if they run on going further into making another sequel, or if they're run on making DLCs to this one, hey, I'm on board. I'm your man. But that's all I have to say for today. Please stay tuned for my upcoming game reviews and videos headed your way. This is Hugo, your critic teacher, and you guys have a good day.